Most new investors either waste their money or don't invest at all, and that's why they're stuck. If I was starting all over today, this is where I'd spend my money and where I wouldn't spend my money. And by the way, number 4 on the worst spending list is so completely underrated and is critical why you should be spending money on it. Hey guys, if you don't know who I am, well, I'm Jeremy Beland, and I am an off-market acquisition expert. I've done close to 500 off-market transactions since I started my journey in 2017. I've done them in 6 different states. I built multiple markets to $1 million markets, and I've done almost over $10 million in gross profits and assignments since I started my journey back in 2017. And today, we're gonna talk about what to spend money on, what not to spend money on if I was brand new and starting today. Let's get right into it. Well, the first few things I would not spend money on is pay-per-click. Now, if you're brand new to this business, pay-per-click, SEO, all right, and pay-per-click, if you guys don't know, that is a Google paid ad. Bing has them as well. So if you go online and just say, sell my house fast, and you scroll up to Google, you'll see some paid ads of local people. I love PPC. I don't love it for people brand new in this business. It's a waste of money. In fact, all the members that join our coaching program, I deter them away from PPC until they start doing some deals and getting some money going. Once they start to get some proof that they are able to take opportunities and close deals, I love PPC, but not in the beginning. So no PPC, because you can easily spend thousands and thousands and thousands and more money every month and have nothing to show for it. So great marketing channel, not great for newbies. The price for those ads are just too expensive for somebody to learn on, but great once you start to get some momentum in your business, and actually a must, in my opinion, to add to your business, but not in the beginning. Another one is SEO, search engine optimization. Now, I love SEO. I love it more than PPC. 2 of my favorite marketing channels. But for beginners, not a great marketing spend, okay? SEO takes a long time to develop. In some markets, it could take 1 to 2 years. It is definitely a long game investing. So when you think of SEO, think about like the stock market. I'm gonna put money in now. I'm not gonna see money for a long time down the road. SEO is the same way. Now, once you start getting some money, if you can start putting some aside to build it for later on down the road, love it. But in the beginning, you don't need that. It's way too overwhelming. It's a waste of money. You're not gonna get any return on investment for a while, okay? And that brings me to the next one, a fancy website. You don't need a fancy website. Now, I like you having a website, but honestly, you can do a handful of deals without even a website at all. You don't need any fancy business cards, fancy logos, fancy merch. You don't need SEO. You don't need PPC. You don't need a big fancy website. All you need are opportunities to talk to sellers and get deals done. Don't waste your money on this stuff. One last thing, I see it a lot, is CRM. You do not need a big fancy CRM. Now, once you start to build momentum and start to maybe build out a team, that's a different story. But in the beginning, when you're just working as a solopreneur, man, you can freaking write in a handbook, a notebook, and be okay. Basic CRM's where you need to be there. We'll talk a little bit more about that coming up. All right, Jeremy, I'm not gonna spend any money on that. Then where do I spend that money on? Well, here's a few things that I would spend money on if I was getting started today. First of all, same thing I spent my money on when I started in 2017. Good list. Good list. You can either pull them from PropStream, ListSource, PropWire, Deal Machine. There's a handful of others out there. Not all created equal, but they all generally pull good lists. My first couple of years, I used ListSource. We would just build lists, absentee equity owner lists, owner occupied lists, there's vacant lists, tax delinquent lists, pre-foreclosure lists. Those are great lists. Another way I would go and do this is actually your local government lists. These are some of my favorite, to be honest with you. They cost a lot less. They put in a lot more time and sweat equity, but as from a cost perspective, a true investment, it's really your time more than the dollar. Now, what is a government local list or local government list? That is your tax delinquent list. You got code violation lists. You have your eviction lists. You can get probate lists, even water shutoff lists. So how do you go about getting that? Well, let's start with the tax delinquent list. Go to your local tax collectors. Some do it by town, some do it by county. Every area is a little bit different. Go get a list of unpaid taxes for properties in your area, however you find that. and then take that list. And what we want to identify is the properties that have not paid taxes for 2 years or more. Those are the properties we're looking for. Those are the properties that are heading towards tax lien, kind of like pre-foreclosure, heading to a foreclosure. There's a lot of urgency there. And a lot of times they're in too deep to dig themselves out. Great opportunity. So tax collector list. Code violations, another great one. Not all areas do code violations. Up here where I live in New Hampshire, I wish it was a thing, but it's not. But Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New York, Florida, some of the other markets we've done business in, they have them and they're great. So go to your code enforcement office, your local code enforcement office, wherever you're working, and get a list of open violations. Those open violation lists are great because a lot of times people are getting fined so much for the way the property looks that they can't dig out of this, and this can create an opportunity for you to find some motivated sellers. Then if you go to the local courthouses, they have a list of evictions that happen every month and a list of properties that go through probate. Now, eviction is typically at the circuit court. Probate list is typically at the family court. Go to those departments at your local courthouses every single month and get a list of evictions that have happened and probates that have happened. These are motivated landlords that have gone through an eviction or motivated people who inherited a property they may not want. Great opportunities there. And then your water department. This is a good way to find vacant houses or houses that are just not paying their water and sewer, right? So go to your water department. Can I have a list of properties that are no longer paying their water bill or you have turned off? Get a list of them. Those are great. Typically, a lot of those fall into the vacant house category, which is, zombie houses just sitting there looking like they're going to come back to life and scare the heck out of everybody, right? Where nobody wants to go to. Those are great opportunities. All right, so that's list. Another thing is systems. Let's just start with a basic CRM. Nothing fancy. What I teach members of our coaching program to do is use less annoying CRM. Yeah, you heard me right. That's the name of it. Less annoying CRM. It's super basic. All you need is a place to put your data for your buyers' information and your sellers' information and a system in there to allow you to just follow up. That's all you need. So when you open up your CRM every day, it says, hey, you got these 10 calls to make in your follow-ups, and you just put in the notes and the next call to action on them, right? That's all you need to do. Remember though, every lead in your database, your CRM, must have a firm next step. That means don't let it just be ambiguous. Make sure that you have, I talked today, I'm calling in 30 days. I talked today, I'm calling in 45 days. Whatever the case is, make sure everything in your database has a next step. But your CRM, you don't need to spend a lot of money on this. I think less annoying CRM is like $30 a month. Heck, if that doesn't work for you, a notebook is fine. Just make sure you keep a neat and orderly notebook. Shelly and I, when we started our business back in 2017, we used this free CRM called High Rise CRM. It doesn't exist anymore, but it was great. And it was basic, and that's all we needed. It wasn't until we started scaling high and growing our team that we transitioned to Podio, and we had to spend a year with one of our VAs basically customizing and building it. I love Podio today, although I've never been in it, but my team has been, and it works great for our team and our consistency and success. But it would have been way overkill and a way waste of money back in the day. So you don't need a big fancy CRM until you're doing deals every single month. All right, we talked list, we talked CRM. Where would I spend my marketing money on? Let's face it, at the end of the day, we need to generate leads and opportunities, right? We need to get leads and opportunities of motivated sellers and convert them to contracts and contracts that close. Well, this is what I would do today. First off, most people that are getting started today work a full-time job and they don't have a lot of availability during the day. So one of the great marketing channels for a newbie to start today is the same marketing channel that I started on way back in the day. And honestly, it has been one of my 3 best marketing channels since the day I started almost 9 years ago in multiple markets. And that's just good old-fashioned direct mail. Now, this isn't the end-all be-all, but it's great for different reasons. One, it allows you to touch a lot of different properties. And let's face it, when you're doing cold outreach, which is text messaging, cold calling, direct mail, things of that nature, direct mail is going to allow you to hit a lot of different properties fast, just like those other ones. And when you're doing cold outreach, I want you to think of it's like a numbers game. I need to touch 5,000 to 7,000 properties to get one low-hanging fruit every time. Now, one low-hanging fruit is, hey, Jeremy, I got your message. I'm super motivated. I am facing foreclosure. I'm facing tax lien. I need to do a deal in the next 30 days. I'm super motivated to do business now. That's low-hanging fruit. Now, majority of the business that you get in this industry or in this business are not low-hanging fruit. 10 to 20% of the deals that you'll do are low-hanging fruit. The other 80 to 90% of the deals you do are deals that have come in the follow-up. So let's just say we, over 8 weeks, send out 1,000 letters per week over 8 weeks to a list. We pull a list: tax delinquent, code violations, eviction list, pre-foreclosure, right? Absentee equity list, whatever that list is. We're sending out 1,000 letters over 8 weeks. We're gonna hit that list for 8 straight weeks. In that 8 weeks, we're gonna probably get one low-hanging fruit. So you're gonna send out in 2 months, you're gonna get a deal closed in 90 days. Great. But in that 8 weeks, you're also going to get a whole bunch of other people, maybe a dozen, 2 dozen, a few dozen people that say, hey, Jeremy, I am motivated to do business. I fit the avatar, but the timing isn't now. It's your responsibility to follow up with me each and every month and nurture me as a lead until I feel like the timing is right for me. I don't care if the timing is right for you, the house buyer. Timing needs to be right for me as the seller. So you're gonna get many of those. And as time goes on and you get some consistency and longevity in your business, you're gonna be getting the low-hanging fruit every single quarter or 8,000 mailings that you do. But you're also gonna be building that database in your very cheap and basic CRM of leads that are going to come to fruition later on. And then this is how you start to build some consistent closings in your business each and every month. You get one low-hanging fruit, 1 to 2 deals out of your database. Every single month that happens, and as you grow, it get more consistent. Or if you're looking at it from a quarter, you get one low-hanging fruit, 1 a quarter, and maybe 1 or 2 or 3 deals out of your database, and this is how you're closing 3 or 4 deals a quarter consistently. Understand how that works? So I love direct mail, and let's face it, most of us, like I said, are working full-time jobs. So direct mail goes out every single week, whether you're working or not. And then the people who are motivated to call will call into that number that you have on your mail piece. And it's your responsibility at that point just to call them back as quickly as possible and put them through an incoming call script, right? And if there's motivation and equity, go on that appointment. That's all you need to do. So you can get that set up with the mail house, that you're not responsible for getting the list together and setting it out every single week. I don't need to handwrite it. You can handwrite it, but if you can automate it with the mail house, then you just do your job and go to work, spend time with your family and your other responsibilities. The mailing's going out every single week, and the people who are motivated call. And then you go from there. Love direct mail. Great for the working professional. Don't like cold calling. Cold calling works, but most of us don't have the ability to spend that much time cold calling, all right? Now, it's cheap. It feeds that hustle mentality. But the reality is, guys, you need to call 8,000 properties, right? 5,000 to 7,000 properties to get that one low-hanging fruit. The reality of doing that is 3 hours a day, 5, 6 days a week for 8 straight weeks. Now, your chances are that's not going to happen. You're going to run late at work one day. You're not going to feel good. You're not going to be motivated. You skip a day here. You do an hour here, skip another day here. All of a sudden, 8 weeks turns into 12, 15 weeks. And guess what? You're never going to last that long. But one of the companies that I like, and I would say text messaging has been making a comeback. One of the marketing channels that I like is actually Lead Mining Pros. They will do cold calling and SMS text messaging for you. So you can pay them to do all that stuff for you each and every month, and they will send you warm leads every day or every day that they come in over the course of that month or however that long, that time period that you invest in them. Just like direct mail, you could pay them, they do the legwork, you do your business, and when the leads come to you, it's your then responsibility to handle those leads as gold. Like gold, because it could be $50,000 leads in there, right? And make sure that you take those leads and convert them to appointments and then contracts, and contracts are closed. So love Lead Mining Pros. They'll do the cold calling for you, pull the list for you, skip trace for you, do the text messaging for you. They're more pricey than direct mail. Both have their pros and cons, both not the best marketing channels, because cold outreach is definitely not the best marketing channel. PPC, SEO, and things of that nature are, but those cost too much money for a beginner. If you're brand new, you're gonna screw up, you're gonna make mistakes. You need to be earning your stripes and learning from you making mistakes on low-cost leads. So those are the marketing channels that I would start with today. All right, number 3. These are the things that I would spend money on today, just like I did when I started. Well, one of them I did, one of them I should have, and I didn't, and I do now. and most newbies don't. And this is something that I really try hard to get all the members of our community who join the newbies that start with us to do. First one is CallReal. We used to use CallFire back in the day. I don't think they're around, but CallReal is a phone software system. Short money, gives you local disposable numbers so you can change them out often, but you do not want to be calling people from your direct mail or cold calling or texting from your personal number. You need to have a different number that protects you from people that are just creeps out there and crazies and that may try to call you and hassle you and stuff like that. You don't need to be involved with any of that, right? So CallReal will give you a barrier of safety with that. So basically what CallReal is you'll go on, they will give you numbers, and then let's just say you send out a mail piece, right? The mail piece goes into CallReal, CallReal captures the number and then passes it through to your cell phone. So you pick up your cell phone, right? You're answering it on, but it's coming through CallReal app. And that CallReal is going to be the barrier so your number doesn't show out. And then you can call through your cell phone through the CallReal app. And then when the seller sees the number on the other line, it's the number on the postcard. Now, this takes me to this next thing. KPIs, your key performance indicators. There's a bunch of different KPI trackers out there, but you gotta have something that tracks your marketing. All right, this is really important because all marketing channels work. Some work better than others. Some work better than others in different markets around the country. So because direct mail may be working well in this market, doesn't mean it's going to be working well in this market. And then you have to even track it per list. Maybe absentee equity owner list is working great, but owner occupied equity list isn't, right? We need to track that information. This is where CallReal comes in handy as well. CallReal, again, cheap money, low cost, easy for anybody to afford. Now, when you have that mail piece with that number out and it goes through CallReal, CallReal captures that data and goes through the other side. Now I can start to build out my KPIs. Let's just say I spent $1,000 sending out 2,000 letters in this month. How do I know how many people call? Well, if I'm doing everything through my cell phone, am I gonna go through and track it all? No, you can't, right? It's gonna be crazy. But if you go into the CallReal system, laptop and everything else, you can pull, all right, during this time period, month beginning to month end, we got 50 calls. Right? And out of those 50 calls, I was able to talk to 40 of those people. Out of 40 of those people, 20 of them told me to get off my list, 20 of them were leads. Out of those 20 leads, I went on 3 appointments, and out of those 3 appointments, I got 1 contract, and that 1 contract is assigned for $25,000 getting to close, right? This is how we build out our KPIs. And we do this each and every month, but it all starts at the beginning. I'm spending X on mailers, right? I know that. I know how many mailings are going out every single week. I can do that number, but I need to understand how many people are actually calling that number. CallReal allows us to do that, and then we can build out the KPIs from there. And then as we build out the KPI tracker, is this marketing channel working? Is the marketing channel working, but maybe I'm not working? I'm getting a lot of leads, I'm going on a lot of appointments, but I'm not converting those appointments. Well, then you may have a me problem and not a marketing problem. Remember, it's easy for us always to blame the marketing, but a lot of times it's our inability because we don't know what we don't know yet to take those opportunities and convert them, right? We need to get better on the acquisitions. We need more coaching, more training, how to talk to sellers in person and on the phone. That will allow us to convert more opportunities to deals that actually close. That comes with coaching and practice and time, right? To get really good at that. It could even take a few years before you become an expert at that. That's really the honest truth. But we need to understand where our marketing dollars are going and how they're performing, starting with the KPI track and CallReal. Highly recommend. And by the way, KPIs are free. CallReal is basically free. So no reason why you can't be spending that money on your business today. All right, number 4. This one's crazy. This one blows my mind on how many people don't spend money here. I honestly can't wrap my head around it. And really, that money to be spent is on you. Yes, spending money to invest in ourselves. So many people are afraid of spending money on coaches and mentorship and true guidance, right? They don't want to spend money having somebody else teach them. Sometimes people expect, because you know this knowledge, I should just give it to you for free. It doesn't work that way. You know, I've spent years. Me personally, I came into this business with a coaching program. 9 years later, I still have a mentorship. I've gone I don't know if any of those moments during that 9 years, I haven't been under some kind of training program, coaching program to improve myself. And I've invested a lot of money in coaching into my team. The reason why I've done almost 500 off-market deals is because we've invested in ourselves and invested into our team. Your investment into yourself is going to get you the best ROI over anything else, over any kind of dialer, marketing channel, disposition channel, whatever you see on social media. Your best investment is in yourself, because once you learn that knowledge, the ROI from there is infinite, right? So you join a coaching program, you spend $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, whatever the money is, right? You look at it, well, if I do this and I get a deal or X in 6 months, 12 months, there's my ROI. But the reality is you're learning something that you're gonna be able to use the rest of your life. So you can track your ROI from that investment on yourself initially, but the ROI is really infinite, because you're going to learn that knowledge and now have that knowledge for the rest of your life. That's super, super important, right? So like me and the students that join our mentorship program, after they work with us for 12 months, I've taught them a skill that no matter where they live in the world or in this country, they can go and acquire off-market deals like that. So whether they choose to or not, it's up to them. But now they have a skill set that many of us want to have but don't have. I can drop them off from this market into this market in a short amount of time. They're going to know how to get off-market deals just like that and generate revenue from them. That is a skill set that they had to invest in themselves to learn. Great. There's a lot of great channels like this one, that YouTube, that teaches you stuff, right? But getting clear direction will give you the speed of implementation. You can try to figure it out yourself and try to save money and take months and months and months and months and months to do it, if at all. Now, some people are going to do it sooner, and some people will be able to have success without coaching. But guess what? Some people play Powerball and win, but most of us don't, right? And to invest in yourself is going to allow you to hit your goals quicker, but it's also going to allow you to learn and invest into the knowledge that you can start practicing and implementing that gets you better, right? Think of all the professional athletes. They don't just learn how to play professional sports from YouTube or social media or shadowing somebody. They learn it because they have coaches investing in themselves. They're investing through their coaching. And then when they become professional athletes outside of that, a lot of them have outside coaches on top of the organization that they're in. That's what it takes to be the best of the best. I've spent well over $300,000 in myself and my businesses since I've started, right? I'm not gonna just give that away for free. You're gonna need to spend some money to learn from me. But I promise you, if you invest in yourself and learn from me, I'm going to teach you everything you wanna know. It's not gonna happen overnight. There's no get rich quick thing here in this business. Everything takes time, practice, and consistency. It's hard work, it's simple, but it's hard work like anything else. Anything worth doing and worth having requires some hard work, right? So don't be one of those people who's afraid to invest in yourself. I'm not saying that all coaches and mentorship programs are created equal. I would find somebody who is filling a need of what you have, right? So there's certain times in your business, like right now, if you're new, you just need somebody to teach you how to get that first deal. Totally get it. But as you get better, you may need somebody to teach you how to hire people, train people, run the business as a CEO, scale, whatever your goals are, right? You became a great wholesaler, now you want to learn how to flip. Get a coach that teaches you how to flip. You've done really good at flipping, you want to learn how to buy and hold and burr properties. Get a burr coach, right? Learn these different techniques from people who are doing it at a high level so you can hit your goals much faster. And if you don't, you're going to struggle. So I strongly suggest you invest in yourself, even if it's coaching in this business or some other kind of mentorship that makes you get better. At the end of the day, we're our own best investment. Invest in yourself. The ROI will be infinite for the rest of your life. It will make you more money than you could ever imagine. If I didn't invest into a coaching program when I started and kept investing, I would not be looking at 500 deals soon and well over $10 million and building a life where I've been a full-time investor for almost 6 years now and living the life of my dreams. It's because I invested in myself. So make sure you think hard and fast about investing in yourself. Sorry to go on a soapbox here, but it just blows my mind how many people don't want to do it. Thanks for watching, guys. And if you're serious about getting in this real estate game, I got something for you. Click on the link below. It's the ultimate guide of getting more deals, bigger deals, and less cancellations. Click on that link. You can learn more about that. And remember, guys, there's 70,000 people each year going into pre-foreclosure. Let's get in this game. Let's provide more value by helping those people out and make a ton of money doing it. All right. Make sure you guys like this video. Please subscribe to this channel. I know we all say it on YouTube, but you know how it goes. I need the support. I'm bringing you lots of videos. Check out this library in my channel. Hundreds and hundreds of videos right here to provide value. Let's like this so you can see other ones and other people can see mine and share the algorithm and blah, 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 and all that stuff YouTube does. I don't really know, but you know how it works. Like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys so much. See you on the next video. Take care.